Everybody, welcome back to Runaway Roses. Today, I just have a quick little project I'm going to do. I'm going to change over the converter on the camper over to a lithium compatible converter. Stick around. I am going to change the converter over to a lithium compatible converter, but that's not really the main reason why I'm even doing it. The reason I'm actually going to change it out is because the converter that's in there, it's an older 2015 model and it makes a noise. Sometimes it just has like a high-pitched screaming kind of noise. Depends on how many lights I have on or what kind of electronics actually using in there. So it still works fine. It just makes a noise and it's driving me up the wall. So I got to change it out. So if I'm going to do that, I figured I might as well change it over to a lithium compatible converter so that when we do upgrade our batteries, all I have to do is just flip a little switch, go from lead acid batteries over to lithium, and we're good to go. So let's go inside and I'll show you what I'm doing. All right, it's going in. I am gonna have to come back out and turn the power off to the camper. But on our converter, it's right down here below the bed on the step. I'm gonna have to take this cover off and the converter is just on this side of the fuse box. I don't have to replace all the breakers and fuses and all that. Basically just the converter part, you'll see that. And I'm going to change it over to this. That's the part number. I got it on e-trailer. I'll put a link below if you're interested in that. The factory converter that's already in there, it's basically the same PD 4045 KA is what is the original, which does not change over to lithium. And this is the model that does change over to the lithium. It has a lithium switch, so that's what I'm going to put in there. And here's what it looks like. All right, there you go. That's what it looks like. So when it slides in, it's going to basically slide in like that. And it's pretty easy. Just your power, ground, and neutral on that side, and then your power and ground over here that connects to the breaker board. So let's get to pulling the old one out and getting the new one in. You know, when you got something that's kind of physical that's going on, you know, it's kind of hurting, you know, so you decide to, well, I'm going to go to the doctor, I'm going to go to the dentist or whatever it is. And then you go there that day and then all of a sudden it's not really bothering you that day when you happen to get into the doctor. That's kind of what's going on at the moment. I was going to show you the noise that the converter is making, this buzzing, high-pitched noise. You could actually hear it in our last video about showing this camper that we got it. You can kind of hear it in the background while Carl is talking. So I'm not able to actually show it to you now because for whatever reason, the converter's being nice and quiet, but that's always the way right before I'm going to change it, right? But I'm going to go ahead and change it because I know sometimes it really gets to screaming. It's kind of, the noise is kind of all over the place. So sometimes it's not bad. Sometimes it's really bad. So I'm going to go ahead and change it. This is not a DIY how-to video. I'm just going to show you what I'm doing in case you end up having to do it yourself. It might help you out. But first, before we get into it, I got to shut the breaker off and the battery disconnect on the camper to make sure there's no power going to the converter. Off. Battery disconnect. Off. There we go. It's just a little stuck. Just gonna slide that out, set that down there, and then I need to disconnect the wires over here on the breaker side. So these three wires, the white one goes to this front bus bar, the green one goes to the rear bus bar back there, and then the black wire here goes to this 15 amp breaker right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and loosen those up and take them off. Okay, sorry, but I got the black one out. Had to use the square bit on the screw on the breaker. See if I can use it down here on this white one. It's super tight. There it goes. All right, got them all out. So there's the old converter. And here's the new one. Over here. Basically look exactly the same. The difference is this one has the little switch right up here. See, right there is the little switch for the from LI and LA, lead acid and lithium. So that's the difference between that and the old one. Does not have the switch. So you'll be able to use lithium batteries now. One day when we can afford to upgrade to them. All right, so we can get this old one out of the way. It actually looks pretty good. I mean, it's pretty clean and all, but it is a noise maker. And go ahead and get this new one out. I got the wires tucked in. So same green, black and white wires there. So I'm just gonna take this new one. And right now, I do have this set on lead acid batteries because that's what we got at the moment. So just gonna slide this in there. One little tip is on all these bus bars and the breaker, use a square bit, typical regular square bit that is on most RVs. That was the easiest thing. You can use a flathead, but the square one's the easiest. So basically I'm just gonna slide this back in, and then I'm going to reconnect these other wires. Slide this back in the groove here, and I'm going to tuck these wires back down below where they were before. So you need to use the Allen wrench on that. The square-headed screwdriver was actually kind of working to get the screw going, but need to use the proper tool. Good and tight. Good and tight. All right, so there it is. Got it in. Wasn't too bad of a project. Those screws were really tight, so I tightened them up really good when I put the new one back in. So I'm going to go ahead and put the cover on. We're going to turn the power back on and test it out. Just to be a little safe, let's try it with the battery first. Reconnect the battery to make sure we got some lights. Oh, there we go. All right, turn the power on from the garage. Power on. Everything's still good. All right, let's just test the microwave here. How do we do that? There we go. 20 seconds. All right, we got power. All right, another successful project. Go ahead and put my step back on. I did add this little board to the bottom of the step, little piece of wood. That way it sits on this front lip here and keeps the board from sliding out. And that way the step won't move. Needed something to keep the step from sliding, so now it's good and solid. All done. The new converter's in, it's working great. Got a bunch of lights on, microwave works, everything works, and it's nice and quiet, so I'm very excited about that. Don't have to listen to that high-pitched squeal anymore. Thanks for hanging out while just getting this one little quick project done before we go camping, which is going to be real soon. Looking forward to that always. And the converter that I put in is a Progressive Dynamics, same brand that was in there before. The only difference is it has the lead acid lithium switch on there for when we may eventually upgrade. I want to go ahead and get that because one day we're going to upgrade to some lithium so when we can afford it, but right now we just have some lead acid batteries, so I just got it set on that. It will charge lead acid at 13.6 volts like normal, or if we change to lithium batteries, it will charge at 14.6 volts, so we'll have that ready in the future. Did get it on e-trailer. If you're interested in that, I'll put a link below. Not sponsored, we paid full price for it, but in case you're looking for the same one, it's a 45 amp, same converter. We'll the link will be below for that. And got it on e-trailer, and they're always good to buy from. So appreciate you hanging around, watching. Please like, subscribe, share, and all that. And we'll see you next time on Runaway Roses. Bye-bye.